on side?
Yeah, you're clear enough.
Okay, all right, excellent.
Okay, so let's just begin with the infographics that your company actually released. That's on CMAP. You brought about some cases of areas that have witnessed some attacks by, or suspectedly, allegedly witnessed some attacks by Fulani herdsmen. What can you tell us about that?
Basically, my own organization or civic startup, that's CMAP, I've been working with Minority Report. There's another platform that is trying to call people's attention to what people have been facing in the Middle East and some other places from some sort of militia attacks. But the issue, the challenge they have is it's not clear if it's coordinated or not. And based on that, all sorts of phrases come up, like ethnic cleansing and some other things. So I just thought, okay, fine. Let's work on findings. First, we mapped out certain, they gave me some data. So when we realized that a lot of places that were affected are not on any sort of maps, and a lot of cases were not even reported. And I think that now sort of pushed some sort of curiosity, and we had to like go and look at the trends and go and look at some sort of history. And we realized that we're able to gather close to 150 points at various regions, that's in various parts of the country, where there's been the herdsmen, Fulani herdsmen, carrying out attack in local areas, local regions, and at the same time, sort of a bit mysterious or very mysterious, and at the same time, ignored. So we discovered about 150 cases. We mapped them out using the data that we're able to get, and we discovered that it's actually spread across the country, basically. So that's what we wanted to highlight, that, okay, fine, even if the government won't pay attention, the data is saying something else, that there's something going on. Then everywhere. What else is the fact that we assume that there can't be any sort of coordination from this case, but what statistics is telling us is different. It's telling us that the government this particular issue, and at the same time, so the scary thing that came from the data we mapped is that the spread of those guys. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead. Yeah.
Like the spread of this. Excellent. Like the spread of these guys on the map, it's quite the scary aspect is these guys, they have a lot of reach. They're scattered across the country. They're embedded in our societies in various ethnic groups, because there are attacks even in the southeast, there are attacks in the south, there are attacks in various parts of the southwest. And the last example is what happened to Papa Falai recently. And the interesting part is when you look at the car that was in, there was a gunshot from the picture I saw. So you look at the situation where the people here assume, okay, fine, they're just after animal husbandry, and you now realize that the last major attack that was carried out had some sort of ammunition in it. So meaning that the spread of those guys has sort of coordination, has more enough, basically. So that was why we had to come up with those maps to make people see the reason why we have to pay attention to those things.
All right. Now that the map is out, what would you be expecting the government to do? Because the map is out there, and yes, if attention, like you said, which is one of the key things that has spurred your releasing of that map, if attention is not paid, that means those red dots that were on the map will keep spreading, or will keep having them more on the map. What do you think should be done to make sure that instead of spreading on the map, they're being wiped off the map?
Yeah, you know, the thing is, okay, for example, what informed my own platform is let's sort of ensure some sort of accuracy. What to do with that map is, okay, fine, even if the government won't pay attention, this is happening. So I think from the map, you can come to a lot of conclusion. You can deduct a lot of things. If you bring security experts on board, they will tell you their own fears. If you bring policymakers on board, they will tell you their own fears. So from our own hand, what we've been able to do is the map is out. So I expect the dots that you rightly pointed out. I expect the government to be able to connect the dots now. We've been able to create the dot for them to make them see that, okay, fine, there's a time bomb. There's a time bomb here. Okay, fine. We have Boko Haram issue now, and interestingly, it seems Boko Haram is being contained. But the funny thing is, there's something that is going on again that needs a trigger. So let's say insurgency sort of sees opportunities in the spread of this and militia groups that are spread across the country. Let's imagine insurgency sort of switches to their sides and see some sort of their network. How disastrous that would be, because we've mapped data from Boko Haram and you realize that a whole lot of it is limited to Italy, which is very unfortunate. So it's limited to the northeast, and definitely the signs are there from the data that we got that the penetration down here is a bit hard. And from what this government is doing again, I think technically the resurgence in the military is impressive. So the northeast, the Boko Haram is technically, but at the same time, it's a coordinated network that for a point of contact. It's probably waiting for it. So if they are able to get the nation that they are waiting for, because now from all indication they are equipped. I can't say they are well equipped, but at least they have ammunition. It's obvious from the car that Chief Olufalaye was attacked. There was ammunition in that. And the scary part is these guys are part of our society and they won't leave, because definitely this is their own way of life. So let's say there's a switch of strategy from the insurgency to make use of the networks that these guys are creating, then that's a boom. So basically now we have the dots, we have all the indications are there. We just wish the government took more attention to this data and at the same time try and sort of come up with their own findings. So definitely there will be some sort of ethnic tensions, which I'm trying to avoid too, because before we had the map, we had to consult a few friends, but we realized that we had no choice than to post these maps because fine, this could lead to ethnic issues, but at the same time too, it's left to the government to understand that, okay, fine, they have to engage some sort of wisdom at some point, basically. So it's left for them to connect the dot, really. I'm not a security expert, so I'm just a data person. I'm a data person. I've given them the data. I've given them what to look at. I've given them where to find stuff. So it's left to the government, actually.
Okay, yes, just like you said, I mean, you're not a data person, but of course you do have a thing or two to say. Just some few weeks back, the governor of Benue State and the governor of Taraba State, they had this meeting to try and see how they can bring to an end such clashes. And even the president has said that he's going to adopt the blueprint that he used as the chairman of PTF, to also stop clashes between farmers and herdsmen. And I think also in the 7th Assembly, there was a committee that was set up to find one of these reasons why these clashes usually happen. Do you think talking will bring this to an end, or you think action should be put in place? Now, when I say action, I mean military action or any form of action, any form of retaliation. What do you think might be the best option to take? The carrot and stick approach, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think to address the issue first, this particular fight that we have at hand is actually beyond 2 states, it's beyond the region. When you look at the map, you realize that this particular thing has touched on parts of the country. So we're talking about something that is actually meant to be some sort of national emergency. So at this point, it's beyond talks, because, okay, like when Minority Report, the proprietor or the founder of Minority Report gave me their own data, I was shocked to realize that even a lot of places that these attacks were carried out with this serious, not even on the map. We don't even have all the information. We that were the data people don't even have all the information. So what we're even planning now, basically, okay, the areas that we couldn't even map, can we work out resources and go there and put these places in the spotlight. We map them and we highlight them. That's what we're actually contemplating now. But the issue around now is it requires some sort of national emergency. It requires national inputs from all state governments, and actually it's beyond talk. Because at this point, I would expect the military to sort of coordinate with the police, and at the same time try and start to dig deeper. And okay, fine, they've created a network. What are the channels? How are they moving? From the pictures we saw from the kidnap of Chief Olufalai, the gunshots that they saw, do they have guns? How do they get there? So these are the questions that I think serious actions should be taken to sort of answer for this question. It's actually beyond seminars. It's actually beyond. It's beyond talk shops. It's far beyond talk shops at this moment, and it is meant to engage all the governors. It's meant to engage all the parties that are involved, and most importantly, to ethnic leaders. This is the time to actually start to take some sort of account of what's up and ask them to sort of their experience. What are they facing? So this, I think, for example, when governors, the governors are largely disconnected from the grassroots. These are the things that we know, and it's not their fault. I just passed through a state now, coming to Abuja now, and interestingly, the question is, I discovered that that particular state is really undeveloped, not even underdeveloped, is developed. So the issue is, the fight we have at hand is beyond comfortable offices and air-conditioned rooms and co. They need to get out and sort of take statistics. We need to start taking accounts to really push out at what's happening. You get what is really happening. How many people are dying? How many people are becoming victims of these things? And the funny thing is, when you see these pictures that we could put up, these pictures are brutal. You get this thing is beyond massacre. But I don't know what phrase to describe it now, because you look at a situation where women, children are being killed, practically no just reason. So it's a national issue now, and I think national emergency is required. It's beyond two states.
All right, Niyabiri, thank you very much. Like you said, it's a national issue, and a national approach should be used to stem this tide. But we'll have to hold it here. Thank you very much for speaking with us, Niyabiri, founder, CMAPIT. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
All right.